I'm Professor Dominic Wyse. I'm Professor of Early Childhood and Primary Education at the Institute of Education, which is UCL's Faculty of Education and Society. I also am the founding director of the Helen Hamlyn Centre for Pedagogy. My main work is research, so I research primary education and early years education. In particular, I'm interested in what we call pedagogy, teaching and learning, for example. So I'm known most of all for my research on things like the teaching of writing and the teaching of reading. I've also done a lot of work on curricula, so for example, national curricula around the world, national curricula in the UK, things like how effective are they, to what extent are they underpinned by reasonable theory and empirical research. I've also done a lot of work on creativity, and so I'm really interested in what works actually in terms of teaching methods, for example. I think my first proper engagement with research was when I did my PGCE at Goldsmiths College. Prior to that, I'd been a practicing musician, and the course at Goldsmiths really awakened a lot of new thinking for me. I found the reading fascinating, and I've never stopped reading and now writing research, but it was always born out of my interest in how do teachers teach, how do children learn, and how can we do all of that better. I think we have to be realistic about how research can change children's lives. Let me give one recent example where my colleague Alice Bradbury and I did some research on the teaching of reading. This achieved national and international exposure in the media, and we were arguing that the current policy in England was not what it should be in terms of the teaching of reading. Now, the question is, will all that work and the work we've done previously and the work colleagues in England and elsewhere have done, will that change government policy? And if so, will that enhance children's lives? Well, we remain hopeful because we have to have the best possible teaching methods for children to help them learn, and it's up to the politicians, particularly, to enact policies that enable that to happen.